we're big on accountability here. I'm big on follow through, right? Don't say you're going to do something if you're not going to do it. Well, we said last Friday that if the Canes didn't have a GM by this Friday, we were going to sound the alarm. We were going to sound the panic alarm, and of course, that's a metaphorical thing. There's no actual alarm. But it's time to sound it. It's time to say, what the heck is going on with the Carolina Hurricanes GM search? There we go. Never mind, it is an actual alarm, and you're hearing it right now. Also sounds like an alarm I used to keep on my phone, and I hated hearing that sound so much. Just had a flashback to like 5 more minutes.
Nope, sorry.
What the heck is going on with the Carolina Hurricanes GM search?
Great question.
And here's the thing. I understand it's not your traditional GM search. So before everybody wants to send that to us on social media or comment in the YouTube, I get it. It's not a traditional GM search. But how about this? There's a role for the GM, or else why would you have it? Right? Let's say that it is truly equal share, right? There's some insider group. It's the assistant GM, it's the owner, it's a scout, it's the head coach, whatever. The trainer, I don't know. Whoever you're letting in on that inner circle, let's say that everybody has an equal say. Right now, you're operating with some equal say going to nobody. You have an empty pizza slice in the assignment pie. Just it's unoccupied. You're sitting down at the Knights of the Round Table, and everyone's going, where's Lancelot? He usually sits there. Well, we're replacing him. Well, with who? Because we depend on Lancelot to do a lot of things. And guess what role I think they're missing? And this is not an official role, right? The official role would say general manager. But the role that you play in your group, right? Let's imagine this like it's your friend group. Right? You got the wild card, you got the responsible one, you got the it's like Entourage, right? I'm the turtle, I'm the Vince, I'm the drama. What you got? You need your group. Do you know what they're missing? And this is, I think, kind of a bad one to be missing in a general manager roundtable. I think they're missing the hockey guy.
Yeah, that's what Don Waddell was.
You need someone. Have you seen the movie Trouble with the Curve?
Heard of it.
Okay. The entire movie is a battle between baseball analytics scouting and like the old school scouts that know a star when they hear the crack of the bat, right? When you hear the pop of the catcher's mitt, you just know that's the next Bob Gibson. Like it's the whole movie is just a battle of that. And what you come to at the end is you need both, right? You need someone saying, look at the spin rates on this pitcher, and you need someone saying, with his motion, it's really hard for them to pick up the spin on the pitch or whatever, right? You need both. You need the old school baseball guy saying, like, look at how big he is in the caboose. That's power right there. It's just untapped. And then you need the analytics saying, yeah, you're right. He does mash off speed pitches, and I think we can get him to pick up the fast stuff. Like, you need both. So right now what the Canes have, it feels like from the outside, and we'll never know exactly what it is on the inside, it feels like they have either all analytics and no hockey guy. And they have the all we know who we want, no how do we get them, right? You have the guys that identify, hey, if we're gonna trade Martin Necas, here's the 6 names we should target when going to trade him. And then you don't have the person that takes that list and goes, all right, we can get these 2 maybe. Like, you need somebody to give you the lay of the land. Or to put it another way, they like you have, let's say, let's back this all the way up, right? Because I've actually seen this on social media a lot. Apparently, it's getting crowded at the top of Mount Everest. Have you seen all this stuff?
No.
It's become like a tourism industry where you pay, I don't know, $20,000-$30,000 and you can hike Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And there's companies that'll like lead you up there to the point where it's getting like there's a traffic jam at the top of Everest and it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
You get up to the point where you can't survive up there very long, and then you got to wait your turn in line to get to the peak. There's kind of 2 things to know if you're going to hike Everest. You need to know the equipment. You need to know like the technical things. Like you know, once you get to this summit, you have this much time to get up and back, or else the oxygen and all this other stuff. But do you know what else you want? You want a Sherpa who's done it like 30 times, right? You want the person that can walk up there and go, yeah, I know they're going to tell you this, but actually this, I know because I've done it. Like the Canes are missing the Sherpa. They're missing the guy who's been in the room during a draft 1 billion times. They're missing the guy who's been in trade talks 1 billion times. And they're missing the guy to say, listen, Calgary's going to say they're out, but they always say they're out of the trade. Then you just ignore them for 2 days and they come back. And I'm not saying that's actually true about Calgary, but I'm saying it's true about somebody, and Don Waddell knew. And who's bringing that information to the Canes? The NHL draft is 21 days from now. And the Carolina Hurricanes have the 27th pick. Sure, the analytics guys might be able to identify who they want to take. Don Waddell might be the guy that knows the guy that can tell him, oh, that guy's getting drafted 25th. And if you want him, you better trade up to 24. Because that's part of it too. Can anyone give me a good reason why it should take longer than 2 weeks to find a GM? 2 weeks is a long time. You can have 4 or 5 interviews in 2 weeks. Hey, we're going to reach out to the second round on Wednesday, on a Monday interview. All right, we'll let you know by Friday if we want to continue with this. All right, Monday's the next round of talking. Okay, now I want to get into more specific details about our team. We'll do that on Wednesday. All right, I want to meet you in person. We're going to fly you out. That's Friday. You can do all of that without ever having to do anything on back-to-back days in 2 weeks. Can anyone give me a good reason that the search for the next GM for the Carolina Hurricanes has lasted 14 days? And I'll even add this on top of it. Don Waddell's contract was expiring. Mm-hmm. Now, even if you're like, oh, we're going to try, we're going to do our best, we want to bring him back, you still have to understand, well, things can go sideways. We should have that list in the drawer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that hey, if bleep bleep hits the fan, these are some guys we'd consider, or ladies or whatever that we consider.
Break glass in case of emergency.
Every athletic director has one. Hey, if our head coach takes an NFL job tomorrow, these are the names we'd consider. I guarantee you UConn has one right now for Dan Hurley.
They better.
They're just waiting. They're just waiting for the call from Dan when he says, yeah, I'm taking the job. And they're like, boom, execute plan 7, 9, 4, 9, or 11, 12, Bravo, Alpha. Like they've got it all orchestrated.
Issue order 66.
Heck, we do it here. What did we do whatever day that was? On was it yesterday, Thursday? We were in a meeting room. We had the all staff, and we said, all right, let's pretend Kevin Keats takes a job somewhere else. Let's just pretend. It was just an exercise.
Again, pretend, folks.
It was pretend. I said pretend. I said hypothetical. How would we execute it here? And it was, all right, boom, we need to get this podcast out as quick as possible. Tim, Adam, how quickly can you get in the studio and record something? Dennis, what can we do on social media? How quickly do we get to our social media manager? Like we were doing that as an exercise. The Canes should do that. What's the plan if Don Waddell, heck, it didn't even have to be leaves for another job. Don Waddell retires. What do we do? Well, the first thing we do is take 2 weeks to collect ourselves and figure out the lay of the land. Is not how that plan should have started. Let's make sure we get through the entire NHL combine without a GM, and then let's see what we can do leading up to the draft without a GM. That should not be the strategy. Can't be.